There's Cara. So she is our intern, and she also just finished up at Duquesne University. And her major instrument there was voice. So she has a lot of vocal training she can share with us. So that'll be a great perspective and fresh information straight out of Duquesne University. So I'll just tell you a little bit about music therapy to start if you don't know already. Um, so the Music Therapy Association defines music therapy as the clinical and evidence-based use of music interventions to accomplish goals within a therapeutic relationship by a credentialed professional who completed an approved music therapy program. So basically that means a music therapist is someone who has completed 4 years of training or an equivalent program. We do 1,200 hours of clinical internships and practicum to kind of train us to be music therapists in the field. And then so basically what we do as music therapists is use music as a tool to help individuals reach any kind of therapeutic goal they might have. So we can work on some of the same goals that you might see with your occupational therapist, with your speech therapist, physical therapist, and even like your therapist you might use for like your emotional needs. So we can use interventions that are receptive, so listening to music, like listening to your favorite songs and talking about them with a therapist, improvisatory things and compositional, so even something like creating your own beat on a drum or playing in a drum circle with people, or like we're going to be doing in our singing group is the recreational, so we'll be singing songs that we've heard on the radio, but we'll be singing them with our own voices. So there's a little bit about music therapy. So here's a kind of how music therapy and Parkinson's can be utilized, or how music therapy can be utilized for people with Parkinson's. So movement is a big thing we can work on. So we can work on things like balance and coordination, and even something like a steady gait. So getting your walking to sync up to a steady beat to help trigger the music. The steady beat will help trigger the part in your brain that tells your feet to walk steadily if you're listening to steady music. We can work on cognitive goals. So that's memory and recollection, and even things like your attention span and your ability to focus. We also can work on social goals. So we could do community building exercises, or just like we're going to be doing in the singing group, the act of sharing an experience, that's meaningful, like singing favorite songs together, just bringing us together and giving us meaningful connections with our peers. We can address mental health. So if you have anxiety, depression, and stuff like that, we can use music as a tool to help treat those. And then just kind of your emotional or self-expression. We can help increase self-confidence, or music is a great way to express the thoughts that maybe you wouldn't have thought to express, or maybe you wouldn't have been able to put into words or wouldn't have wanted to put into words. Maybe you can kind of find a song that matches your emotional state, or talk about the song lyrics and you'll realize maybe that's what I wanted to say about how I'm feeling all along. And that's music, where the music can help. And then what we're going to be talking a lot about is speech and communication. So we'll see breathing exercises to help strengthen your lungs and stuff like that. Articulation and clarity. and your breath support. So that'll be your breath strength or your strength to support your speech and volume of your speech. So those are big things we'll be working on in the virtual singing group. Water. Okay, so now we'll kind of move into what to expect from the virtual singing group if you haven't been in it before. But I should take a moment and pause because I know I just threw a lot of information about music therapy at you. So does anyone have any questions or anything about music therapy?
I also messaged in the chat box and said that if during the presentation anybody has any questions, they can always feel free to type it in the chat and I will answer.
Perfect. All right. If no one has a question at the moment, if you are answering a question and I can't see you, just make sure you're unmuted. Okay. But we will be doing our virtual singing group through Zoom, just like we're doing now. So there will be, some muting when we're singing, because I think the first time we tried our virtual singing group, we all had our mics unmuted, and it turned into like a crazy chaotic jumble because of the lag. You can't really sing in time together through Zoom, but we can, still be together and sing. And sometimes if it's a song everyone knows particularly well or people know they can sing strongly, we'll unmute and just kind of have a free-for-all anyway, so we can still have the experience of singing together. But as far as getting everything organized, I'll send out emails every week just reminding you of the Zoom information or if the Zoom information changes, which usually it doesn't. And then I'll also email out song sheets in case you like to have the lyrics printed and in front of you. Even we'll share them on the screen during the virtual singing group. But I know some people like to have them printed out, or if you don't know a song, you can kind of look it up ahead of time. Okay. Oops. So we start out usually with some physical warm-ups. The purpose of that is it kind of helps open up and engage the muscles that we're going to use for singing. They can also increase focus and alertness. If you're feeling a little laggy, getting your muscles moving and your blood flowing to some of the rest of your body can help kind of increase your focus and decrease muscle stiffness. So I'll kind of demonstrate, if everyone wants to move along with me, I'll demonstrate some of the stretches or physical warm-ups we might do in our virtual singing group. So I usually have you just kind of get used to like your fingers, wiggle your fingers out in front of you like you're playing a piano. And then maybe I'll have you reach your arm up and over, open up your rib cage here, get a nice big stretch. And then we'll switch to the other arm. And then maybe we'll do some shoulder rolls to open up your chest. So roll your shoulders back. And forward if you can. It's a little trickier to move them forward. And then maybe we'd have you give yourself a nice big hug and squeeze if you can. Squeeze a little bit hard and then release. And then for your neck, we'll have you turn your head to one side and hold it. Feel the stretch in your neck. And the other side and hold it. And then down. All right. So those kind of address, your chest, your ribs, your neck, some of the muscles that you want to be engaged, and just you don't want to feel tense in those muscles when you're singing either. So it's nice to kind of get them moving or stretched out a little bit before singing. And then breathing exercises are really important for singing. So they'll help strengthen the lungs and other muscles used for speech and singing. They'll help you learn techniques to aid in singing, increase focus. So some of these might look like deep breaths and held breaths and just controlled breaths. But we can try just some easy deep breaths today. So I'm going to have you take a nice, first I'll say the part we're going to want to focus on the most when taking a deep breath, for singing anyway, is our diaphragm. So the diaphragm is the muscle that helps your lungs inflate all the way. So to get that muscle to engage, you'll want to take a breath and you want to feel your belly expand as you breathe in. So take a nice deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and feel your belly inflate and out. In and out. And one more deep breath in and out. And we'll try one more time. And one more thing to think about is imagine your mouth is like sucking in through a straw and you're trying to get as much air in through that straw as you can. So one more breath in and out. In and out. All right, and we'll stop there for today. I don't want to make anyone dizzy or out of practice. So that's just one example of some of the breathing exercises we might do. And as we move along, we might do some trickier things like taking a deep breath in and holding it for a few seconds, or taking a controlled breath in and counting how many seconds we can breathe in for. Make the breath last for. Okay. Then usually we'll do some vocal warm-ups. So the vocal warm-ups help to strengthen muscles used for speech and singing again. They increase dexterity, increase breath support, and they can help to increase speech clarity. So I'll demonstrate a couple of these. So I'm sure you know them already if you've been in the virtual singing group before. So you can feel free to sing along, muted or unmuted if you want. I've got my keyboard here. Okay, so we're going to sing on a no sound. So like you're telling someone no. And it sounds like this. No. All right, all together. No. One more. All right. Nice. I heard some voices. Sounds great. And then we're going to do another one. This will be on a na sound. So really let your jaw kind of fall down and almost like you're yawning and it's hard not to yawn once I say that, but we're going to say a nice long nah sound, really nice and open. So it sounds like this. Nah. Here we go. One more. There you go. I think we've got a chat here. Oops. It's not letting me go back. Okay. And then we'll do one more vocal warm-up. And so we're going to refer back to that big belly breath that we were doing before. So take a nice deep belly breath in, and we're going to sing on a ha. So it'll sound like ha, ha, ha. And you should be able to feel your belly kind of bounce with each ha. It's okay if you don't feel it. Yeah, we're just demonstrating, but you'll want to take a deep breath in and ha, ha, ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
It makes me feel like I just said something funny when I hear you singing back. Ha,
Ha, ha,
One more. There you go. There's a taste of some of the vocal warm-ups we might do. So yeah, hopefully those will help you get some air into your lungs, help your, the muscles you use for speech engage, and help you get some sound out. And then sometimes we'll do just some other speech exercises. So these will be more for like dexterity and clarity in your speech and in your singing. So sometimes we'll do like a tongue twister. So maybe we'll practice saying, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, and we'll say it really slow to a nice steady click of a metronome, the metronome is just a device that helps provide a nice steady click to practice to or keep you on beat. So we might say, Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So we'll do just one syllable per click, and then we work our way up till we can say it really fast without the metronome. And that's just one. We were having, in the last virtual singing group, we were having a lot of fun sharing tongue twisters and seeing if we could say them all. Sometimes it took a few weeks of practice. But we then, another thing that's tricky to practice are lip buzzes. So if you put your lips together and try to blow the sound through, like this. It sounds like a lawnmower or an airplane flying over or something like that.
I say a bumblebee.
Or a bumblebee, that's a good one. So yeah, so we'll practice that and see how long we can hold our lip buzzes, and eventually see if we can put notes behind it, which is really tricky. So those are good exercises to help with your breath control and engaging your lips. So those are some more fun speech exercises we might do. And then as far as the singing goes, usually we'll change the repertoire pretty much every week so we can get a lot of fun songs in there, so we don't get bored singing the same songs. But the songs could be anything, pretty much ranging from the 1920s to the 1970s, and even more if we think of more songs that everyone knows. I try to pick familiar songs that people would have, heard on the radio or like heard in school growing up. Just kind of try to pick some more universal songs. But if you don't know every song, that's okay. Because sometimes they'll have like a chorus that's really easy to catch on to or something like that. So usually we'll start out fairly easy with songs that are pretty much contained into a small range. And then we'll work up to songs with larger ranges or bigger technical challenges. So, for example, Somewhere Over the Rainbow has a huge jump at the beginning. So somewhere, that's not easy to sing on the first try. So that's something we'll work up to and use our techniques to train to sing that kind of jump. But we'll start out a little easier. So we can try singing a couple songs if you want to join in. Usually it's a little better to sing muted, well, we can try without it. It's just for fun today. But so we'll start out with something easy. We'll sing Home on the Range to start. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. All right, nice voices that I heard. All right. And then we might sing a song that's a little trickier. So we'll sing, if you know it, we'll sing Oh, What a Beautiful Morning. And while we sing it, watch out for some long held out notes.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that today.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. There we go. Nice. I heard I heard at least a couple voices holding those notes out till the end. That's a great start already. And then here's an example. Maybe if there's a song, if you don't know this song, there's a chorus that we sing only on ooh. So I'll sing just the chorus for you. You might recognize the song once I start singing. Ooh, 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 All right, so we'll try that from the beginning, and when we get to the oohs, just take nice big breaths and sing the oohs as loud as you can. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note, but don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble, but when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Ooh, ooh, there's a little taste of what we might sing in our virtual singing group. All right. So that's pretty much what the layout of our group will look like every week. We'll obviously do some changes to the exercises we do and the songs we sing, but that's pretty much how it'll go. Does anyone have any questions about that or anything? All right. All right, so I know we didn't really do much of this in our last round of the virtual singing group, but I thought it would be fun to add some more things in, possibly to kind of mix it up a little bit for the people that have participated before, but still keep our focus on singing. So something we like to do a lot as music therapists is a song parody writing. So we'll take a familiar song and write our own words to the song. So we could come together as a group, to write our own parody and sing that together. That's always a lot of fun. One example I've done with people was just a silly one. We did a parody called Tuna Fish to the tune of Edelweiss. So they can be silly, or they can, we could write a song about, something meaningful. Not that tuna fish isn't meaningful, but something a little more emotional than tuna fish. And then we could do a lyric discussion. So we could pick a song that had lyrics that might resonate with people in the group. And we could kind of just sing the song together and just discuss the meaning of the lyrics and their relevance to us. And I think that makes, the singing of the song more meaningful. It kind of helps everyone to connect more as a group once you've kind of put those thoughts out there and given the song that meaning. So those are just some possibilities for something else to look forward to. And yeah, I think I'll finish up with how to register for the group. So we'll be meeting every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. starting March 2nd. So that's 1 week from today. So if you want to register, do that as soon as possible. I'll send the information out to everyone who has been registered in the past. So if you have already registered, don't worry about it. I don't want to create any confusion or have anyone get missed. But I do have a record of everyone who's registered before. If you want to register, again, just to double check, that's fine too. But just so everyone knows, I'll send out the email to everyone who's participated and everyone who signs up again. So you can just send me an email saying, I'd like to register for the virtual singing group. And my email is up on the screen. It's Hannah at 3riversmusictherapy.com. And then once you register, just watch out for a confirmation email from me. And then later I'll send out emails about how to join the Zoom meeting and song sheets for the first week. So does anyone have any questions about how to register? I know it might have been a little confusing in my description of past people who've registered.
If there's a variant, it has to be weaker than what was before, because what was before was novel. Nobody,
All right, no questions about that? Great. Does anyone...
And folks can also get in touch with us, and we can forward your information on to Hannah too. So if for whatever reason you forget Hannah's email, just send us an idea and we'll get it out to her.
Perfect.
Do you do like a little thing for people at the end? Like, do you put together, is it like a performance kind of thing, or are you just doing stuff?
We haven't done a performance. Yeah, I think maybe if we do like a song parody or something like that, we could record it and send it out. If people are okay with having themselves recorded, we could, that would be fun, something to end with like a parody, and then that you can take that. And I think, yeah, I sent out the vocal warm-ups that we would do a lot so people can practice in the future, so they're not limited to just the 8 weeks. So if you felt like you were really gaining strength or something from the vocal warm-ups, you can keep practicing those. So those are kind of some of the takeaways. But
great, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
And Hannah, if you ever want to just record one of your sessions and send it to us, we'll put it on our YouTube page so everybody can see what fun you guys are having.
Perfect. Yeah, maybe we'll get a couple weeks in and then make sure everyone's okay with it, and then we'll record a session that we can send out. Pick a song everyone knows well that we can sing over Zoom.
Great.
Great.
Any other questions or anything?
I'm going to be presenting this to I work with the Fayette County Parkinson Support Group, and I'm going to be presenting this at our meeting today at 2.
Okay.
Is there any way, if somebody's interested, they could see this little bit that you put together, or just have them kind of join the first session to see if they would be interested?
Yeah, absolutely. I can send this PowerPoint out for the information to David and Casey if they want to send it out to the attendees from today or just to you. We could do that. And then, yeah, it's not a commitment. If someone comes the first week and decides it's not for them, yeah, they definitely don't have to feel like they have to stick around for 8 weeks, or, if someone can't make it to the first week, it's not something that's, we sort of build a little bit like up to tougher songs, but it's something someone's going to be able to jump right into if they weren't able to participate for like the first couple weeks or something like that.
I don't even know if some of our members are on, because we haven't been meeting because of COVID, so we've been doing virtual.
I've recorded this, and if it's okay with Hannah, I can just put the recording of this webinar on our YouTube page. And if you want to forward the link on to folks, that would be great too, Kathy.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Good. You know, one of the interesting things that I've learned in the last couple of years, kind of with some of the programs we've been doing, is that there's considerable research being done right now on folks who have Parkinson disease and are taking some of the medications, that there's an increase in creativity. And it might be, you know, artistic, it might be music, writing, but some great performances and pieces of artwork are coming out of folks with Parkinson's that really didn't have, you know, much interest or affinity in it prior to the diagnosis.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
As I see some positive come out of this.
Well,
Everything.
bestseller.
Great.
Nobody cares. The kids don't even want to.
All right. Well, I look forward to singing with everyone, and
Okay,
seeing
fine.
everyone back from before.
Great. Thank you, Hannah. And thanks, Cara.
Thank you.
I'm George.
All right, I unmute myself. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I will get you have to process the recording, but I'll get it up on YouTube ASAP, probably within the next hour.
Great.
Is
Thank you.
everyone comfortable with being recorded? That like, just make sure.
Yeah. Everybody okay?
Mhm.
I was on mute, so I'm fine. All righty. Well, thanks everybody for joining in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Cara, for joining us also.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah. All righty. We'll
All right,
see
bye,
ya.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.